Hello and welcome to today's webinar. The topic of conversation today is going to be proposals. That is going to include how to work with proposals, how to prepare them, how to add resumes and reference projects to your proposals, how to tailor said resumes and reference projects, and then how to download your proposal when it's prepared. Before we jump into proposals, I'd just like to talk about the different user access roles when it comes to proposals. So we have our normal users who can create proposals and edit copies of resumes and reference projects added to the proposal. They can export these documents into preferred templates, and they can share proposals internally, as long as this feature is activated by the administrator users. Normal users combined with the department or country manager designation can do everything that a normal user can do, but additionally they can push back information from proposal resumes to master resumes when they are linked to the specific country or department. Administrator users can do everything that normal users can do. They can also activate the function to share proposals externally and can push back information from proposal resumes to master resumes regardless of the department or country. So the function to share proposals externally, I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but essentially would allow you to share the proposal with someone outside of your organization. So as we jump into a proposal, we've created a case study here for what proposal we're going to be building. So for today's purposes, our client is the US Air Force, and their project that they've sent an RFP out for is to design a custom aircraft. Now they're facing a challenge to design a suitable aircraft in the allotted time frame. So they're in a time crunch and they're looking for someone who can help design this aircraft, and that's why they've launched this RFP. The resources required is a project manager with at least 5 years of experience and a mechanical engineer with AutoCAD experience. And they're also looking for anyone applying to this RFP to include a reference project, so a similar project related to aircraft construction or aerospace engineering. So with all of this in mind, let's dive into the platform and build our proposal. So I'm on the company overview screen of Flowcase, where we can search for CV names. On the right side of the screen, we see My Proposals. What we're going to do is we're going to create a new proposal. So we click on New, and we give the proposal a name. So US Air Force Proposal 1. So now we've created the proposal. We can see the proposal name. We can see that I'm the owner of this proposal, and the status is currently set to selecting resources. Our other statuses are tailoring, ready to submit, and submitted. We'll talk about these different options momentarily. What we're going to do now is we're going to go in and select our resources. So if we move to the CV content, what we're going to do is we're going to look for a project manager because that was one of the requirements. And we can see role names here, project manager, approved, excellent. So we'll search using that. And we can filter on experience. So if we move this to the 5 years that was required, we can see Aaron and Benito have 5 years minimum experience as a project manager. So we're going to select Aaron to copy to the proposal. We can see he's now been added. Excellent. So we can remove this search term. And now we're going to be looking for engineers. We see again role names here, mechanical engineers, lead architectural engineers. So we're looking for a mechanical engineer. So we're going to add lead mechanical engineer, and we see we have 2 resumes found, but we also are looking for someone who has AutoCAD experience. Okay, both of our candidates have experience as a lead mechanical engineer and have experience with AutoCAD. So we can select Elia here, and if we'd like to as well, we can add Jeffrey to the proposal. So now we have our resumes added to the proposal. We also need to find our reference project. So if we navigate to the reference project content, we can see this is a relatively fresh company here. So they only have 4 projects under their reference projects, and it's easy to kind of go through these and select. But if we're dealing with hundreds or thousands of projects, then we're going to need to search for specific content. So if we do a free text search for engineering, we can see that aircraft design and manufacturing, and then Houston oil refinery expansion. Now we're dealing with aerospace, so it sounds like aircraft design and manufacturing would be kind of in the wheelhouse of what we're looking for. If we select one project or one project solution here, it'll show you where the term that we're searching for has been included. And if we open up this project, we can see the introduction. Aero Design Solutions was contracted by Buildings LA to design and manufacture a custom aircraft for their real estate development projects. All right, so it looks like this is the project that we're looking for the purposes of this RFP. If we go back to the company overview, we can copy this to the proposal. So now we can see we have our resumes added to the proposal and our reference project. So now we can move the status into tailoring. It's important to note that when you're working inside of a proposal, the proposal will not be visible to anyone unless you actually share that proposal with other users. So what does this look like? If we click on Share Proposal, you can see there's users with access, owner of the proposal, I'm the owner, and shared with companies. So we have a note, like I mentioned earlier, you must be an administrator and the owner of the proposal in order to share this proposal externally. So I'm just going to share it internally. I'm going to look up a couple of additional users. Dave, add Chris, and I'm done adding collaborators. Now, what does this mean? It means that Dave and Chris can now go into their own instance of CV Partner, their own profiles, and they will find the proposal under their own proposals, and they can add resources, they can tailor the resumes further, they can tailor the reference project further, and then when it's ready, they can download it on their side as well. Here we can see we can select a template. So we can select our default template for this proposal. So we have our specific templates here, and then we have a template for the reference project as well. So we're going to select that template for that for the reference project. Now that we've selected our template, we can start tailoring. So the purpose of tailoring is to make sure that you're making changes to a resume that you need for the specific bid that you're applying for. It's not going to make any changes to the master resume. So any changes that I make here will not be reflected in Aaron's own profile. So you can tell this where it says at the top, you are now in the proposal, U.S. Air Force Proposal 1, and where you're editing the CV, the resume for Aaron Reynolds. So I can go in, I can pick a suitable summary of qualifications. We can see here tailored overview for engineering project management. Sounds like we're going to need that. We have our project experience, and I can tailor this further. I'm going to exclude all of the projects, and then I'm going to include sections with a specific role. So we're only going to include projects that have the project manager role. Now that I've done that, we have our skills here. Skills are fine. We want to demonstrate our highly skilled resources, their education, work experience, etc., etc. So now that Aaron's resume is prepared, we're going to go to Elias, and we're going to do the same thing. So tailored overview for mechanical engineering. Perfect. That sounds like what we need. We go to project experience again, exclude all sections, and then include with a specific role, lead mechanical engineer.